How's it going, everybody? Bad haircut here. Yeah, I did this as a joke. Went out and played football last night. I've lost my my hair shaver. I hate my life. So I've just been given the all clear to upload the predator catch that I made in Peterborough in Cambridgeshire a couple of months ago now, actually. Over the last few days, I've been editing a video together for that, and that should be up within the next 10 days or so. There will be a part 1 and a part 2 as always on my predator catches. In the meantime though, I've been sent a link multiple times, in fact an abundance of times, to another female predator catch that has been uploaded on YouTube within the last week. This was a live streamed catch. If you guys have been watching my video throughout the last year, you will know what I think about that. I think that they are not the smartest way of doing these types of videos, because you endanger not only yourself, but the person that you are catching. For example, if I announce my location to everybody while I'm doing one of these, I may be held liable if somebody decides to act upon the child predator. As I've mentioned multiple times before, your job is to get this person arrested, take them to court and make sure they get convicted. It's not to embarrass them publicly. That's, you know, a secondary option here. But before we get going with this video, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, PureVPN. The internet can be a dangerous place for you and your family. If you watch my videos, you will know exactly what I'm speaking about. It's very easy for people online to track down where you are, your rough location, by just using a simple IP address. Whenever I'm making a video on a child predator, whenever I'm messaging one of these people, I make sure to use a VPN service so they can't track down my actual location. PureVPN allows you to change your IP address to over 6,500 different servers worldwide. This allows you to appear from literally anywhere in the world. PureVPN doesn't only protect you from bad people, you know, figuring out information on you, but it also helps prevent hackers and allows you to use streaming services that aren't available in your home country. As it's Halloween in the next few days, PureVPN has given me a discount code for everybody to use at checkout. The code is Mikefox. Head over to PureVPN, the link is down below. Check them out, make sure you and your family are safe online, and also get access to the countless other benefits of using a VPN service. Now that's out of the way, let's get going with the video.
Savannah, what are you doing meeting a 15-year-old girl?
You're right.
Well, come talk to us or we're going to call the cops.
Okay, well I don't want you to do that, I'm sorry.
So I mention this all the time. I really dislike these child predator catchers, poachers, whatever you want to call these people, using the threat of police as a way to engage in conversations with these people. The police should always be the main priority. Just capturing this person at the location of a meeting following any sort of sexual conversations is a crime. And at this point, as soon as they've got her on camera, try and do everything you can to keep her there without jeopardizing the case, and call the police as soon as you can. It's not right to not call the police here.
Okay, well then come over here, let's have a conversation.
Okay.
Over here.
No, I'm fine talking to you right here.
No, because we're in the middle of the street, someone's gonna call the cops.
Okay, well, I don't want you to
So
call
let's
the
have
cops
a
on me.
conversation
Okay, yes.
over here where no one's gonna call the cops.
But the cops should have been called by you preemptively about this person coming to an attempted meet. Let me explain why this is completely stupid and why this can throw an entire case out in court. At the point that they say, if you don't speak to me now, I will call the police, this person can argue that they were under duress at the time, they felt in fear for their safety, blah, 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 and that's why they continue to speak to these people. If at a later date the police are called in and they are arrested, the predator can make anything that was said after the predator catchers told them the police wouldn't be called admissible in court. And all of this information should be there to help a conviction. It shouldn't be there for a YouTube video and views. If I was only in this for, you know, views and all of this, I would upload countless predator catches that I've made in the last year without worrying about a court hearing.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
What the fuck are you doing?
You're absolutely correct.
Pull down your mask so I can see your face.
Please don't.
I already have your picture.
That's fine, I understand that.
So pull down your mask
Please
so I
don't.
can see your face.
Can you stop talking to me like that? I understand.
I mean, I don't think you're in a moral position to ask somebody to speak to you in a polite manner, to be honest. Obviously, this is a very emotive subject when it comes to catching these types of people. If you are there meeting somebody in person, following them, conversating with what they believed was a minor, it's very anger-inducing. You don't feel like you want to be nice to these people. But there is a boundary of being professional, and the tone of voice could be a little bit calmer. It doesn't need to be so aggressive, but I understand completely why it is.
Talking to you like what?
I completely understand. I do.
What? What do you understand?
That this is wrong.
So this is blatantly an admission of guilt. She understands what she's done is wrong. She has admitted here that she committed the offence by using the language, "I know this is wrong." This is an admission of guilt. And at this point, if they didn't already say that they weren't going to call the police, this would be a slam dunk case. As long as all of the other little nitty gritty things like her messaging the account first and all of this are in place. And if you're doing this as a job, you should make sure that that is the case.
But what the fuck you doing?
I don't know. I'm being dumb, clearly. I'm clearly being dumb. You know, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done this. I've never done anything like this before.
I can't hear you.
I've never done anything like this before.
No, I don't think being dumb in this particular circumstance is, I mean, going to get you out of trouble here. Wait, let me just quickly... hello? Yeah, so I'm currently watching somebody who has been accused of meeting a child and admitted her guilt. If she's being dumb, does that make her completely, you know, irresponsible for the crimes? Oh, it does. Oh, I take it all back. No, it doesn't. It's stupid shit. Number 2, I don't believe this is the first time you're doing this, and I only say this from experience. Every single child predator catch that I've seen and reacted to on YouTube, and every single child predator I've caught myself has said the same thing. What are the odds that every single crime committed is your first time ever committing that crime? Doesn't seem likely, does it?
Can we back up a little bit and then I'll pull my mask down?
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Well, I'm glad that she's worried about COVID and not bringing a 15-year-old girl to her house. You know, priorities, safety first, am I right?
What the fuck you doing?
I really don't. Just trying.
Trying to what?
I mean, you know what you're doing because you've already admitted what you're there for, and you've already admitted your guilt, and you've already apologised for what you're doing. So you can't say at this point, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, come on. At least use a slight bit of intelligence here. You're only saying this because you're under duress. You're shocked, you're confused, you're, you know, meeting a grown-ass man instead of the 15-year-old girl you're expecting. So, of course, you're going to be a bit on edge. And that's the only reason you're saying, I don't know what I'm doing. Because if it was a 15-year-old girl that turned up and the 15-year-old girl said, hey, what are we going to do? I'm sure you could list off a whole bunch of things that you were planning.
I'm asking you.
Yes.
You're the one meeting a 15-year-old girl.
I know, you're absolutely
After
right.
sex was talked about.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
So, I'm going to ask you questions.
And I'm answering your questions. I am answering your questions.
So you're saying this is for your boyfriend?
Yeah.
There's a 4-second pause after that question until she says, yeah. Say what you want, but to me, and in my experience, that sounds like she's weighing up the options in her head whether to make her boyfriend the only one culpable for these crimes. This just sounds like the stereotypical man, woman, both being child predators. They're just going to push the blame on each other, and that's exactly what she's trying to do at this point. She's the one that's been, you know, lured into this by her boyfriend who's a sick creep, and, you know, because women are more trustworthy in society, she's the one that has to go out and get her, otherwise he's going to leave her. Like, that's how she's making it out, and I just don't believe it.
But you just told me in the store that your favorite thing about threesomes is licking vaginas.
I mean, that's the truth.
It's
I
just
didn't
for your boyfriend.
lie to you. I didn't say that it was just for him, but I'm saying that that's why I'm here right now, is because, you know, obviously we've been looking for someone to have a threesome with.
Oh, so there we go. It does turn out that in the store, she actually met the prop, who I'm guessing is an adult, and I'm hoping is an adult, not actually a 15-year-old, because there's a whole bunch of laws that would have been broken otherwise. That it turns out she was actually the one planning multiple people in a bed, and she enjoys going down on girls. Come on, like, from pushing this all onto I'm only here to pick up for my boyfriend to hey, I really want to eat your cat. Come on.
Yeah, I'm asking you, why didn't your boyfriend
Because
come?
he's at home.
With your 5 and 7-year-old.
Yes, with our children.
With your children.
Yes.
So your boyfriend's at home with your 5 and 7-year-old children, and you're about to bring a child back into that environment where there are children around and have relations with a child and your boyfriend at the same time. What sort of example is that setting for your kids? This is already bad as it is. You know, committing a crime like this is already as bad as it is. But doing it in front of your vulnerable, impressionable children, they're going to think this sort of stuff is okay, aren't they? And they're going to go out there and be groomed by adults in the future because of your behaviour. They're going to think it's okay messaging a 30-year-old woman in 5 years' time. You think about what you're doing here. You're endangering not only the child you're attempting to meet, but you're endangering your own children.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm saying I shouldn't sit here and try to make an excuse because I know that there's not.
There is none. There is none.
You're right.
And your boyfriend is a piece of shit too, because I don't know if you know, he talked to 2 other minors too.
No,
He's talked to 2 other minors. Me.
I did not
He's talking to
know that.
me. 2 of my minors.
You see her face sort of drop then in somewhat of disgust that her boyfriend's messaging other underage girls without her. Honestly, there's nothing worse than a couple who both have bad motives and they both push each other further and further down deep, dark rabbit holes because they're both into the same things. This stuff disturbs me.
So it ain't the first time your nasty ass boyfriend was talking to a kid.
When was this?
Last week, the week before. I don't. It was sometime within the last 2 weeks.
That reaction to me is sort of like, oh, not again. She's like sighing. Like, oh, how would you be so stupid to get caught? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you believe this girl is heavily involved in this? Or do you actually believe that she's probably been strung along by her boyfriend? Like, let me know.
When your daughters turn 15, you go through their phones. Well, let me finish.
My children have phones when they're 15, sir.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry. I said I wouldn't let my children have phones when they're 15.
Why not? Why not?
For this reason.
For this reason.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let my 15-year-olds have phones, so they can't message me when they're out to make sure they're okay, and they can't message their friends on a daily basis, and they can't have, you know, friendships and relationships at that age, and you know, they can't actually have a life. They can't have social media because I'm a child predator and I'm worried that people like me are gonna do the same thing to my children. Think about what you're saying. You're not gonna let your kids have a life because you're worried so much that people like you doing the same thing you're doing right now will ruin your kids' lives. If you are competent enough to realize that doing what you're doing can jeopardize the upbringing of children, then why are you doing it yourself? You can't act like you're a good mother at the moment saying, I'm gonna prevent my children from, you know, ever experiencing anything bad, but you're bringing a 15-year-old girl back to meet them. Everything about this is stupid. It's so stupid.
You'd be ashamed of your f***ing self.
I fucking am, actually.
So how would you feel though?
I fucking am,
So how would you feel if you go through if let's just say your kids do have phones. You go through your kid's phone and you see the same messages that you sent this 15-year-old
You're correct, I would want
to
that.
your kid. How would you fucking feel?
Be livid. You're correct.
And
I
you
don't
were
even know. I don't even know the words to. I can't even imagine.
Well, if you can't imagine it being done to your own children, then how is that thought not gone through your head during this entire encounter? You're meeting a child, and yet you've openly admitted that if somebody met your child, you wouldn't have the words to explain how you feel. Maybe you don't have the words to explain how you feel because it might turn you on a little bit, you creep.
Yo, Matt.
Yo.
You want to explain yourself, man?
What am I needing to explain?
Are you, I mean, do you really not have a clue to why this is happening right now?
I'm not exactly sure who it is that I'm talking to.
You had your girlfriend come here to pick up a 15-year-old girl to have a threesome with.
We were just going to hang out with her.
This is my impression of Matt. I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean? I don't know anything about anything. Oh wait, you're talking about that minor? Oh, well yes, we were just going to hang out. Shut up. Like, it's just clear isn't it? It's just clear and I guarantee he's going to push the blame on her. Because that's how these relationships works. She's trying to push the blame on him, and Matt's going to try and push the blame on her. Because amazing relationships involved here, eh?
We were not having the intention. I was not known to having the intention of a threesome.
We were not having the intention. I mean, I was not having the intention of doing this. Basically insinuating that she had all the intent. Like, come on. It's so easily to call. It's so easy to call.
Well, okay, so the problem with that is she already talked to the minor inside, and she mentioned sex. Mentioned what?
I mentioned licking
She
vagina.
said that her favorite part of threesomes is licking vagina.
Exactly.
I mentioned licking kittens. Like, she's proud about it. I like licking kittens in a threesome. Great. Good on ya. The fact that you're so open about that and not... Ah, man, I don't understand. The more I watch these people online, the more I just get frustrated.
And I want to add, bro.
Expecting me to say I was half asleep when my wife said she was going to go to Meyer.
You were just at the gas station, I was told.
He's selling you out. He's selling you
This is
out.
like a piece of shit boyfriend.
And sir, just so you know, we got you talking to 2 other minors.
Yeah, he's selling you out, but she did the same thing. You can't say, oh, he's a piece of boyfriend. They're both pieces of both of them are. I don't understand why people are always more lenient with the women in these. Like, she's committing exactly the same crime. In fact, she's the one actually actively going and meeting the 15-year-old. So she's slightly worse in this. And yet, he's a piece of boyfriend, so he's trying to drop you in the shit. Like, no, you're both pieces. Get over it.
And they were younger than 15.
When did somebody tell me that?
I'm sorry, what?
That's not even anything. They shouldn't even be on the app if they're not of age.
I know, that is true. Then why do you continue talking to them if you know they're minors?
Right, imagine this is a mic. Mic, oh, I think I just smashed my phone. Oh, so I've actually cracked it. All for a joke. All for a joke. I'm not even sure if you can see that. Can you see that there's a... No, why did I slam it? Oh, I made it worse.
Talking to her the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't like he said, hey, here's this girl, go get this girl from me.
I'm aware. It's okay. Like, I'm aware.
If you're aware, then why are you doing it? Like, you can't place all the blame on him. Like,
I'm
yeah,
not.
you can have
Did I
issues with him.
place the blame
you
on
don't
him?
need to
I'm
get
not sitting
upset
here
with me.
saying I'm not getting upset with you, but I'm also not sitting here placing the blame on him. But I'm gonna go. So if you're gonna arrest me, then you can do that. But if not, I'm gonna
arrest you, I was
I'm gonna walk away.
If I was gonna arrest you, I would leave.
I can't understand what he's saying, but it's like, if I was going to arrest you, I wouldn't have done it already, maybe. To be honest, you should ask yourself that question as well, mate, because if it turns out that Matt is also actively speaking to other girls, like other underage girls, to the point that he's messaging 2 of your fake accounts, that probably means he's messaging multiple real children. And you allowing her to go home and you confronting Matt over the phone allows both of them to go home and destroy every bit of evidence. Because you've worried them here. They're both shit themselves. Oh, we've been caught. Let's stop. Let's delete everything. Let's wipe our phones. Let's throw our computer out. You're allowing them to do that, and you're not allowing these real children to be safeguarded. For what? Oh, YouTube views on a live stream. Come on, man. You need to do better than that. You need to do better than that. It frustrates me because everyone that's doing this is trying to do the right thing. And I think he's trying to do the right thing. But there's a right way of doing the right thing. And there's a wrong way. And unfortunately, this is the wrong way.
Well, I got cards for you if you want to get help. Because this is a serious problem, you know?
What kind of help?
Your babies.
What kind of help? I will take your card.
How do you know he's not doing stuff to your babies at home?
He needs
Like
that.
here?
You need that. Yeah, man.
Can you answer my question, please? How do you know he's not at home doing this to your babies at home?
Well, I'm thankful that they're giving her cards to seek help because, again, the prison sentences aren't long enough for these people. In fact, my old head teacher in my secondary school got sentenced to only 8 months attempting to meet a minor. After that, what's in it for them? If they're still actively engaging in conversations with children, then nothing's going to change. Prison doesn't completely help them. They need to seek serious psychological help. So I appreciate the fact that he is attempting to aid them in that. But what's really frustrating for me here is listening to the woman who's there. I'm guessing she was the fake 15-year-old, saying, what do you think? Do you think he's at home doing this to your babies? Why aren't you asking the question, are you at home doing this to your children? I understand the worry of a man doing this to our kids, but they're both the same. They're both doing the same crimes. They're both just as likely to do this to their own children. And yet, that little bit of girl with girl, hey, it's the man's fault. What if he's doing this to your kids? There's no, are you doing this to your children? Something about that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't like that. It's like they're inherently putting more blame on the man. As much as I agree that yes, men do this more than women do, I've made videos, countless videos on women doing this. It's a problem for both people. So why not treat them the same?
Don't do this again, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. As a woman doing this, you should be ashamed of your self. A disgrace, a fucking mother.
I completely agree. She should be completely ashamed of herself, and it is a disgrace that she's doing this. But it's also a disgrace you're letting her go home and delete all the evidence. Why are the police not called? I mean, even if you call the police and the police don't arrive in time, but you give them the evidence, at least you've tried to do the right thing, and then do whatever you want on social media afterwards. I have some moral dilemmas with some of it, but at least attempt to do the right thing here. Please. If I was going to rate this video, it can only be a 2 out of 10, purely for the fact that they didn't call the police. And to the point that this couple is actively seeking underage girls and messaging multiple underage girls, and you're letting them go home, that's a madness. That's a madness. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I hope you guys are excited for my Predator Catch to be released, and hopefully I can educate people on how to do it properly. I hope. I'll catch you guys soon. Stay safe out there. Peace.